got something for you. We got something for you, you. It's something Megapod shiny. It's wrapped in Megapod plastic. Put on your Megapod jammy. It's time for Megapod-tastic. 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 Megapod-tastic.
Good morning. Welcome back to Crazy Joe's Concession Stand. I'm Crazy Joe, and I'm not going to waste any time. Dan Reviews It is here.
Hello.
Good to see you, Dan.
Yes, you as well. Big Woke Joe.
Big Woke Joe.
That's what they call him.
That's what they call me. That's what they call me on some channels.
Yes.
So how are you doing, Dan?
I'm doing well. I saw Deadpool and Wolverine earlier today, so that is fresh in my mind. Obviously, a huge opening weekend for that.
Hey. Stealing that. I'm stealing that.
Hello, Perp.
Hey, Perp.
How's it going, Dan? How's it going, Joe? Hey.
Hey.
I'm stealing that from you, Joe.
You know, Fred Rerun Barry has hey written on his tombstone, and that wasn't his line. It was Dwayne's line.
I was going to say, and Dwayne is still with us, by the way.
I know.
What?
It doesn't make any sense. Fred Rerun Barry's grave says hey on it.
Maybe that's why Dwayne is still with us. Maybe that's why Dwayne is still with us. That's somehow a curse that he put on there that he gets to live longer as long as that's on the tombstone or something.
Wow. That is bizarre. That would be like Sally Struthers having Meathead on her grave.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, that's bizarre. No, I did not know that. You know, there's only three people left from What's Happening.
Yeah, and I've met two of them.
Is that right? You met Ernest Thomas?
I met Ernest Thomas and Danielle Spencer.
No kidding.
And what's her name? Nadine was there too, but she was at lunch, so I didn't actually meet her. Like,
okay. I mean, yeah, she's definitely part of the crew.
Yeah, but Danielle Spencer, they were both very nice, but I had more time talking to Danielle Spencer. Couldn't be nicer. So really. So she's in a wheelchair now. I'm not sure what happened, but I didn't know that. I mean, I knew she she left acting. She became a veterinarian.
Right.
Her actual name is Dr. David now. So
is that right? And that's her married name, David.
Yes. And you know what's funny? I met her husband too. Her husband was there. Guess what her husband's name is?
David?
David.
No. What parent does that?
I don't know.
So you've got Danielle David and David.
Yes. David.
All right. Well, I wonder why she's in a wheelchair. That's very sad. Now, of course, Mama spent the remaining years of her life in a wheelchair as well from, I think it was diabetes.
Yes. I can honestly say I have two movies with Mabel Thomas on Blu-ray.
Scrooged, obviously.
Scrooged, and the other is the truly horrible Gong Show movie.
Well, you are a Chuck Barris fan.
I do love Chuck Barris, but that is not a good movie. Let's real quick say hello to the chat here. Oh,
movie yodel.
Movie lovers in the current era is here. What's up with Movie Edge? I'm glad you asked. We'll get to that. Did we see Deadpool and Wolverine? I think all of us. Dan just told us he saw it. So yes, all of us.
Yeah, I just saw it this afternoon.
And little Everett Yoakum III with a yodelay-hoo. I think, little Everett, I saw you yodeling in the chat over at my buddy Adam the Woo's channel the other day. I was looking at Adam the Woo's comments, and I think I saw a yodel from you in there.
Hey, Noah.
Movie Hunter is here. Noah's here. I hope Noah's going to be joining us later.
Hi, Noah.
He's got the link, but I do want to respond to this. What's up with Movie Edge? Look, I was ready to let this drop. I really was ready to let this drop. But this guy, Movie Edge, has been on a tear trying to get to me. and it's a joke. I mean, this guy, if you look at his posts, he's posting all this crap on Instagram, and he's getting no traction. He's getting like 2 likes. Like every time it's 2 likes, and most of the time, both likes are him. He likes it from both of his accounts. So it's getting like no traction at all. But so I was just going to let it go. But here's the thing. One of my viewers, Perp, you were hosting a stream about a week ago. And anyone who's never been to Little Movie Perp's channel, Perp will put the link to join the stream in the chat. Anyone can click that link who goes into Perp's channel and join the stream if they so choose, because he shares the link with everybody.
Yeah.
And he said about a week ago, Perp is the biggest fan of The Acolyte, loves The Acolyte. And you've been really, really high on The Acolyte lately. And you said you were going to do a stream and you were going to take on anyone who had a negative criticism about The Acolyte. Come on in. You were going to debate it with them. Well, one of my viewers went over to Movie Edge's channel, sent me the screenshot, and said, "Hey, Little Movie Perp is challenging anyone to come on and debate him about The Acolyte. You've been so critical with all the, woke and, it's pushing the gay agenda on kids. You should back that up and go on his stream and debate him." And he responded, "No, I'm done with those guys. I'm done. I'm not wasting my time with them because they're woke and I'm not going to waste my time." So one of my viewers sent me that. I had a clip of it. I don't know what happened to the clip. I think the screenshot, I deleted it because I thought, no, we're just going to let this go. And Slappy says it was me. So it was you, Slappy. Slappy was the one who sent. So I'm thinking, you know what? No, we're done. We're done. Just let this go. He says he's finished. He's finished. All right. Well, after backing out of a debate because he wasn't going to waste time with us, he went and posted 2 more posts about me on his Instagram. So he was not done. He was not done. He's just a coward. And I'm going to call out the cowardice right now. Movie Edge, if you had any balls at all, you would have gone on that stream and debated Perp. But you don't. You're a total coward. All you're doing is flinging shit at the screen for your 2. And look at this. I clipped the 2 likes. See this 2 likes? Here they are. Both him. Both him. He is both of his 2 likes. This is a joke. He's also wrong. Look at this. He says,
legally?
Yeah. Legally. He also says,
I'm glad you filed the paperwork for it.
He also says, I'm losing subscribers like crazy. I've been gaining subscribers. So he's not even right. It's just a joke, but I just want to put it out there. Movie Edge, I'm not dealing with you. You're a joke. You're an absolute joke. You got like 2 likes on this. This is not getting any traction. It's not going where you think it's going. You did a video about me and all the comments were roasting you. None of them were backing you up. You're just making a complete fool of yourself.
I think the TikTokers call it get ratioed.
Right, exactly. He got ratioed. So the point is, I'm done with this shit. If you got anything to say, then actually grow some balls and come on and defend yourself. But you won't do that.
My stream is always open, and I'm very nice. I'm not going to call you names or anything. We're just going to have a discussion about.
But he won't do it. He won't do it. He doesn't have the guts, and he knows he can't win that argument. And he's just going to talk to his echo chamber of 2 people, which both are him. And that's it. So with that said, I'm now done with Movie Edge. Movie Edge is a nobody.
He's my project now.
Yeah. No, he's not, because he won't show up at your stream. He doesn't have the he can't back himself up. He's a joke. So no, what's up with Movie Edge? What's up with Movie Edge is a coward. He can't back himself up, and we're done with him on this channel. We're not talking about him anymore because what's to talk about? He's got an audience of 2, and they're both him.
The power of 2.
Yeah, the power of 2.
He can't escape the power of 2.
Yeah, he hasn't made it to the power of many yet. So if he watched The Acolyte, he would get that. RJ says, "Wow, dude is practically a stalker. He is. He's totally a stalker. He doesn't have much. But anyway, I don't know if you guys heard. There was this little gathering this weekend, and at this gathering, they revealed news about movies and TV shows. You guys heard about this thing?
Isn't that thing all those nerds talk about, and they go in there and they yell and stuff when there's a trailer? Is that thing?
Something like that, yeah. Okay. So, I have a couple things from Comic-Con that I want. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to talk about. We could certainly add to my list here, but the first thing I kind of wanted to talk about was we got the word that Michael C. Hall is going to return as Dexter Morgan in a sequel series. We knew there was going to be a prequel about like young Dexter, which is starting soon. Actually, I think it's called Dexter Origin Story or Dexter something.
First Blood,
something like that. But apparently, he's actually coming back in a sequel, which is look. I'm sorry, there's going to be spoilers for the last season of Dexter here. But Dexter, what do they call it? New Blood or something? He's dead. I don't understand this. How are you going to bring Dexter back?
They're literally telling you right there, Joe, it's called resurrection. They're going to resurrect him.
I'm wondering if he's going to be
style.
I'm wondering if he's going to be the ghost. To his son, because what do you call it? The original Dexter, he would see the ghost of his father Harry, and then in the most recent season,
Joe, you just figured it out.
You think so?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And then I like that because also I think they could lean they don't have to say it's real. They could still treat this particular iteration of Dexter a little more supernatural, which could be refreshing,
Oh, guys, guess who just joined us in the chat? Jerry Rochelle is here. Jan Brady from the Brady Bunch Variety Hour. Good to see you, Jerry. I'm happy you're here. Thanks for stopping by.
That's lovely.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, Jerry's awesome. I always stop by to see her at the Chiller convention when we're when she's a guest at Chiller. So, thanks for coming by, Jerry. Appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about Dexter coming back. Quite frankly, I love Dexter. I was a big Dexter fan. I kind of felt I'm one of the few people who felt the original run of Dexter had a satisfying ending. I kind of liked the idea. People were making fun of what he became a lumberjack. And I'm like, I like the idea that this was a guy who wasn't going to get peace in his life, because how could he? He's a killer. The way he lives his life, the people around him, the people he cares about all end up getting killed. His sister, his girlfriend, where else could this guy go? So he goes into hiding and he's like living off in seclusion and, what's this guy going to do? I thought that was a satisfying ending. It was a bit of a downer, but I figured this guy, that's the kind of ending he's going to get, is a downer ending. So when they brought it back, then I thought they a second time gave him a satisfying ending. I love Dexter, but I don't know if I need more Dexter.
Let alone 2 more Dexters.
Yeah, I didn't need a prequel either. And now I say that, but I'm going to watch it. So.
You never know. This could get done because they couldn't say no. It was just too good of a script and pitch,
Anthony's got the title. It was Dexter Original Sin is the prequel. And
Original Sin.
Lisa's here. Still haven't watched Dexter, but I love Michael C. Hall in 6 Feet Under. I've never seen 6 Feet Under.
You know where I liked them? That movie.
Joe, you never watched 6 Feet Under?
Never did. No.
Oh, all right. Sorry, Prep. Go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say. I said it anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, 6 Feet Under is a great show.
Oh God, I can't think of her name. Can't Hardly Wait.
Jennifer Love Hewitt?
No, the other one. Red hair, Psycho Beach Party.
She was in Can't Hardly Wait. You're right.
Yeah, what's her name? I can't think of her name.
Yeah. God, I can't either. All I'm thinking is Amber Tamblyn, but that's definitely not her.
Noah's going to come in with the name. Noah's going to know. We're trying to remember the name of the actress from Can't Hardly Wait.
Is it Lauren Ambrose?
Lauren Ambrose. That was it. Lauren Ambrose.
I think that's where I was getting Lauren the Amber from.
It's Lauren M, bro.
Hi, Noah.
How you guys doing?
Very well. How you doing?
Good,
I'm here.
I'm here. Did you happen to see Deadpool and Wolverine, Noah?
I did. I actually have a review of it coming tomorrow and a spoiler live stream coming tomorrow about 8 p.m. on my channel.
Based. Awesome.
I would like to stop by your live stream. I tried it a few weeks ago. You sent me a clip saying, hey, I'm doing a live stream. And I tried to stop by, but I think you had tech problems because like the stream, like I came in and the stream ended immediately.
Yeah. What happened is that stream was corrupt somehow. So I got a minute in and everything I had was just gone. And the page I was on wouldn't move. I had to get out of the stream. I had to shut the laptop down. Came back 5 minutes later. Everything was fine. I don't know what happened, but computers.
How do you feel about the Dexter? Were you a Dexter fan?
I was not a Dexter fan. When it was on, I didn't have any of those channels, and I still don't have Showtime, so I haven't seen it yet. But I want to at some point. I already know he's dead, so he's coming back.
Apparently,
yes.
Apparently. We're just trying to figure out how they're going to do it. My guess is, I think he's going to be in the original series. Now, you say you didn't watch it. In the original series, he would see the ghost of his father. Like his father's spirit was like his conscience and kind of like guided him. And I think he's going to be the ghost now, like to his son. I think that it's going to be Harrison's the killer, but that's the only way I could think of it. I'm like, or it's just like, oh wait, no, we were wrong. He's not dead. The bullet was a little to the left. He's just got a limp now.
With writing, I just hope it's written well. If they bring him back, I hope it pleases the fans, but I don't know how you do it if he gets shot and it shoots him in the exact right position for it to kill him.
Yeah, and by the way, Anthony Cheeseman, I agree with him completely. Anthony says he liked the ending of season 8, but hated everything else about season 8. That's exactly how I felt. I actually hated season 8 except the finale.
Cheeseman seems like a hardcore Dexter fan. Look at him. You got all the news. He's seen them all.
Dexter was a good show, man. And Original Sin's got a pretty good cast too. I don't know who she's playing, but Sarah Michelle Gellar's in the cast.
Oh man, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Christian Slater is playing his father, Harry. There was James Remar in the original, so it's going to be Christian Slater. I don't know. I mean, there's no two ways. I'm going to watch it. Like I wasn't clamoring for a Dexter prequel, but come on, I'm watching that.
Wait, Christian Slater is playing Dexter's father?
Yeah, on the prequel series.
Oh, okay. I got it. I thought you meant on the new one where he's dead.
And that's the other thing, though. Do we need like a full Dexter franchise where it's like we got the prequel, we got the sequel, this.
Well, were the ratings good for the sequel series?
I think so. I mean, Dexter was consistently Showtime's like most popular show.
I think that's probably what it is that the show is very well beloved and people like run through with it, but it seems like the general consensus is always like, man, I wish they had a better ending, or I wish they had a better ending. Like I hear that all the time. Like my girlfriend is a huge fan of the show, and all I get from her is like, he's a lumberjack. He's a lumberjack. It's like, I don't understand what's going on, but I think it's bad. Like people just weren't happy with, from what I gather, with the ending. So the studio's like, they have that opportunity there. They have that actor. It's like, man, can we try to get that ending to get everyone satisfied? Which is, it's not a terrible ideal like to have, and.
Yeah. I don't know. I like they got me. I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. They're also doing a Trinity Killer origin story TV show. The Trinity Killer was John Lithgow's character from season 4.
Oh yeah, that was my girlfriend mentions him all the time as her favorite. Yeah,
arguably the most popular villain on the show. So
it's an IP, man.
Dexter, it's probably that perfect storm because it appeals to horror fans because he's a killer. It appeals to true crime fans because
procedural,
yeah. Like it's probably just the show that hits so many genres that's why. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just like that perfect combo.
I think it's. And this guy, I don't see him in anything else besides whenever they revise Dexter. I'm sure he's in other things, of course, but he's not on my radar.
Yeah, he did that Gamer movie.
Yeah, he did Gamer. That's the only thing I know him, and I liked him in that. Yeah, Gamer. I liked Gamer with Gerard Butler and Terry Crews.
Yeah, I don't know. And he's going to be on the new show. He's going to be on the prequel too, in the Bob Saget role. As the narrator of future Dexter, narrating his origin story, calling it the Bob Saget role because of How I Met Your Mother.
That threw me for a second, but I understand now. How I Met Your Mother.
That really didn't make sense if you think about it, because Ted was already like 30, so it's like he's already an adult. Why is his voice going to turn into Bob Saget?
Yeah, that was kind of bizarre.
But anyway. What's this? Did I hear Rebecca Alter is calling for Muppet Vision 3D to be classified as a heritage site of cultural significance on the National Register of Historic Places? You think that could? I do not think that could happen. I mean, I'm all for it, but I don't think that could happen. I mean, it's only like what? It's not that old. It's only like 40 years old at the most. I don't know. It is the final thing that Jim Henson ever did, though. So,
is that still running?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool.
All right. So I guess that's all I got to say about Dexter. Is anyone interested in watching the Dexter Original Sin or Dexter Resurrections?
If I get to the original series, maybe. I'm going to start at maybe some point before the end of the year, and by that point, I'll probably just binge all of it all at once.
Yeah, I never saw the original series. I saw a couple episodes of the sequel, which seemed fine. But, yeah, I mean, I would probably want to go back and watch the original show before I saw any of the new stuff.
And we can assume that Perp's girlfriend's going to be watching.
Yes, probably. Third types of charm, right? For the ending.
All right. The next thing I had was, and Perp, this one is tailor-made for you.
Yeah.
The Acolyte. The Acolyte made you a Star Wars fan. You've said that the Acolyte is your Star Wars origin story.
I just did that to piss people off. I like the original trilogy. I haven't liked anything else, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to say I'm into Star Wars now because of the Acolyte. All these people are going to hate on it. Because I definitely loved it, and I'm more into Star Wars, so I'll just say that.
Well, yeah, I don't know how into Star Trek you are, but we got a trailer at Comic-Con for the Section 31 movie, and I have a feeling that a Star Trek action movie starring Michelle Yeoh is right up your alley.
You know it. I am a Star Trek movie guy. I've seen most of the movies. I don't think I saw it. Well, yeah, I did see Insurrection, actually. Yeah, I've seen all the movies.
Did you watch the trailer for Section 31?
I have not.
It's a very un-Star Trek trailer. Did anyone see this trailer?
Yes. No.
Dude,
there has been no project. It has been completely quiet from the marketing department. I haven't seen a single tweet about this. I'm all about Michelle Yeoh.
They just premiered the trailer at the Star Trek panel at Comic-Con this past weekend. You can find it on YouTube. But this was supposed to be a series. This was going to be a series that was going to go into production, but then the pandemic happened and it kind of shut it down. And something funny happened between the pandemic and now. Michelle Yeoh became like one of the hottest stars in the world and won an Oscar. which made her leading a Star Trek series a little unlikely. But she was so devoted to the character, she's like, I'll come back and do a movie.
Mhm.
So we're getting our first ever Star Trek made for TV movie airing on Paramount Plus. We don't have a date yet. And it's about Section 31, which is a special section of Starfleet that was first introduced on Deep Space Nine. And they're kind of like the Mission Impossible of Star Trek. They do all the dirty work. They're officially like off the books. Nobody knows is supposed to know they exist. And she's reprising her role from Discovery in this Star Trek action movie.
Oh my God. Hell yes.
So yeah, it looks interesting, and it looks the trailer is so unlike what you think of for Star Trek. They got like some weird like.
Are we gonna see it? Are you gonna show it to me now, or do I have to?
Oh, I can't.
Damn it! All right, I'll watch it.
You know how Paramount is.
Okay,
put the whole stream down.
I got a couple like questions for this. Okay, as a Star Trek fan, I know there's a group of the fan base that does not like that the Star Trek movies have turned into action films at some point, you know. But at the same time, this is Paramount saying this is an action, like they're saying this is specifically an action movie. And I kind of like that. So now they're going to be saying like this version of Star Trek, this whatever we're putting out, this is an action one. Everything else is going to be Star Trek as you know it, about exploration, about what, like, you know, what's out there and all that jazz that people love, you know. So I really like that they're specifically saying it's an action film, and I hope the Star Trek fans that got mad at producers of the 90s for turning Star Trek into action, hopefully they see that and they're a little more forgiving with this.
Well, here's the problem with Star Trek fans. A lot of Star Trek fans tend to be very gatekeepery about Star Trek. One phrase I always hear about Star Trek that drives me crazy as a fan is people will go, you know what Star Trek always did? Star Trek always got a story that was a parallel to something happening in today's society, and they were telling you a moral about today's world, but in a sci-fi setting. And I'm always like, no, bullshit. Did Star Trek do that? Yes. Did Star Trek always do that? Because they always say always. Star Trek didn't always do that. Star Trek is a very, very malleable franchise, and you've always been able to tell a lot of different kinds of stories in that framework. Yes, you had things like Let That Be Your Last Battlefield, which was, you know, the half black, half white aliens, and they used it as to tell about racism. You had stuff like that, but you also had the trouble with tribbles, which was just silly. You could tell comedy in Star Trek. You can have, basically, First Contact was a zombie movie in space. Really, you can tell so many different kinds of stories in the Star Trek framework. So I got no issues with them telling an action story, and we're still getting exploration over on Strange New Worlds, and we're getting comedy on Lower Decks. They're telling us so many different kinds of Star Trek stories. I always say it about Star Wars, it's like a buffet. If you don't like what you're getting over here, don't worry, you're getting something different over here. If you're not digging the Acolyte, there's a Mandalorian movie coming. You know, there's the Skeleton Crew series is coming next year. There's always something different. Like, I didn't care for Andor. Who cares? It wasn't like, blah, 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 they're ruining Star Wars. No, it's like there's another Star Wars coming like 6 months away. This one isn't for me. Who cares? You know, so that's my feeling. But there are very gatekeepery fans.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, are we ever getting another Chris Pine movie, do you think?
Don't know. He wants to do it. He wants to do it. They all do, but I think it's a cost thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, I guess I'm the only one who saw the Section 31 trailer. So I definitely think it's up your alley. Has anyone been?
I'm literally watching right now. That's why I'm quiet. Sorry.
Oh, all right. And Dan, you weren't aware of this. Are you a Star Trek fan? I'm not sure.
I'm not a Star Trek fan. I've only seen a couple episodes of the original series, and I've never been a big fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know this project existed, Joe.
Yeah, it's I think it's really cool that they're doing made for Paramount movies because it kind of opens up the gates of what you can do. Like if this is a success, we could get anything from any era of Star Trek. Like if they know, well, there's a market for made for TV movies, we could get more movies in the Captain Kirk era. We could get more Picard movies. We could get anything. So I'm pretty excited about it. I did have one more Star Trek. I don't want to overload you guys with Star Trek because I do think I am the big Star Trek guy here. So
okay, I just finished the trailer. You are absolutely right. Wow.
I knew you'd be into that one.
Wow, that looks cool as hell.
I didn't care for the song. What was
the pop song? Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. They're trying to be hip and cool.
Yeah. So, there was also some very un-Star Trek.
I did not feel like Star Trek at all, man. Like
was it when the one character tells Giorgio, "You're a bad bitch."
You're a bad bitch. So what is this? Okay, man. I could imagine the fan base is not gonna the general fan base is not gonna dig that, unfortunately. Yeah. But it's for me. I don't care. That's how they get me into Star Trek.
The other big Star Trek news was the Starfleet Academy series coming. We knew that. It's got an all-star cast. First, they announced Holly Hunter was going to be the captain, which is quite a get. Then they announced Paul Giamatti was joining the cast as the villain, and it's like, holy God, you're sparing nothing on this. But now we got word that 4 Star Trek alumni are joining the cast as well. Mary Wiseman, who plays Sylvia Tilly on Discovery. No surprise there. No surprise there because Tilly on Discovery had left to become an instructor at the Academy. So I think we all assumed she was going to be on this. Tig Notaro as Jet Reno.
Yes.
Tig is hilarious as this character on Discovery. I think a lot of fans' main complaint was that she did not get enough screen time on Discovery. And the one that's kind of got all Star Trek fans excited, Bob Picardo, Philly's own Bob Picardo, is back as the emergency holographic doctor from Star Trek Voyager.
One of my all-time Star Trek favorites.
Mine too. Too. So I'm over the moon about this. This show just sounds like it's going to be great. We got like some great returning characters. We got Oscar winners in there with Holly Hunter, and did Giamatti win an Oscar? I know he won the Emmy this year.
No.
So he went out.
Yeah,
he was nominated.
Unfortunately,
there was the Golden Globe. He like went out to In and Out with his Golden Globe and like was posting pictures of it. So
yep.
So I ask the non-Star Trek fans, does the casting of Oscar winners like Holly Hunter and Paul Giamatti move the needle? Does that make you want to watch Starfleet Academy?
For Paul, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch Paul Giamatti in anything. I look, like the Star Wars universe and like the Marvel universe on Disney Plus. It's just all of it is too much for me. So I sample these Star Trek shows so I can review them on my channel. I'll watch like the first 3 episodes of something. You know, if it strikes my fancy, maybe I'll continue with it. Like Picard, I ended up watching. Some of the other stuff, you know, although maybe I liked it. I liked the one with Captain Pike. What was that called?
Strange New World.
Strange New Worlds. Yeah, at some point I will go and watch that full season. Is that just 1 season so far?
They're going into season 3. In fact, at Comic-Con, we got our first clip from season 3, and I'm a huge fan of the show. I love the show, but the clip they showed us from season 3 kind of annoyed the crap out of me. They did an episode in season 2 where Spock, we all know Spock's half human, half Vulcan. His Vulcan half, something happened and he lost his Vulcan half and he became a full-blooded human. And they came up with something to counteract this and bring his Vulcanness back. So the clip they showed us from season 3, 4 of our human characters, Captain Pike and Lon and Uhura, for some reason, they needed to take a reverse of this thing that turned Spock back into a Vulcan, and it turns them into Vulcans. So this short clip we got teasing season 3, we see some of our main human characters become Vulcan. And suddenly they all were no emotion and using logic. And as a longtime fan, I'm like, that's not genetic. The Vulcans train themselves to be that way. This is just dumb. But
tell them.
But what are you gonna do? So I don't know. I love the show, but that clip kind of broke me. I'm like, what is this? What am I watching?
But yeah, of all the new Star Trek shows, that one, from the ones I sampled, was my favorite. I even with these big names, it'll probably be more of the same. I'll watch the first couple episodes so I can give it a review. And I'll watch the movie. I mean, 2 hours of a Michelle Yeoh movie, sure. But I think they're oversaturating all of these properties. And, as somebody who likes to watch almost everything that is on, it's tough to follow along with some of the stuff. So, no, I probably won't be watching it.
I also should point out, I never thought I'd see the day when Dan was watching Star Trek, because I back in high school, you wouldn't have been caught dead watching Star Trek.
So this is already a win.
It was my dad's favorite show, and it was always on. And I don't know. It was Star Trek was fine. What sealed the deal for me was when Whoopi came on.
You were a big fan of Whoopi. You're the only person I know. Only person I know that watched the Whoopi Goldberg show.
Every night at 11, Monday through Friday, I would watch the Whoopi Goldberg talk show.
Because one guest is best.
One guest is best. Whoopi plus one, baby. Yes, and that has dwindled over the years. I don't watch The View or anything, but yeah, I mean, at the time, Ghost was one of my favorite movies. Sister Act, love that. So when they put Whoopi on Star Trek, that got me on board.
I'm just curious, Perp and Noah, did you guys even know that Whoopi Goldberg had a late night talk show?
Nope.
Late night talk show.
Yeah, she had a late night talk show called the Whoopi Goldberg Show. It was only a half hour, not an hour, and there was there was one guest only. They got
no
the full
monologue,
half hour,
no band.
And
really?
what was the commercial? They had the commercial with the jingle where they're like, "No house band cutting into talk time."
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. It's actually a precursor to. I feel like things like, Charlie Rose, and now, of course, everybody's got a podcast. I mean, the half hour with one guest format, that was not done before.
Whoopi was the trailblazer.
Whoopi blazed the trail again.
I probably will not. I'm probably not going to end up watching the Star Trek show. I like watching the movies. I'm definitely going to watch the Michelle Yeoh one. If I do get into one of the shows, the one I am curious about is Discovery, because I feel like that kept the same flavor of the J.J. Abrams ones from a visual aesthetic standpoint, which I really loved about J.J.'s look. So one day I was thinking I was going to jump into Discovery, if any of the shows.
Well, like I've heard you say before, you're a little movie perp, not little television perp.
Yeah.
All right, I got two more things written down here. One of them.
Wait! Before the Star Trek, I put on the. You see there in the back. Bring that up. The reaction to the trailer, the comments.
Wait, what's this?
In the back, if you could pull it up on the screen, you see the little movie perp. I have something in the back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Those are the comments if you want to put it up. So it's what we predicted. People saying this is not Star Trek. This is not Star Trek. This is not Star Trek. Exactly.
Help me, help.
This is exactly. I'll read some of these comments. This is exactly the opposite of what Star Trek fans want. I'm pretty impressed with Paramount's belligerence. I need an instant dose of DS9 to get this trailer out of my brain. Like, it's all just, this isn't Star Trek.
Does this guy know that DS9 created Section 31?
Congratulations, Paramount has achieved a new low. Why does everything have to be Suicide Squad? This is going to be painful. Like, literally, I haven't seen a positive comment yet. This is not Star Trek. That's more like an SNL parody of Star Trek. Remember when Sloan said they do things quietly? Yeah, not a single positive comment yet. Not one. Like, literally, I'm not being hyperbolic. Like, I haven't seen a single one. This is crazy.
This is why
exceeded my expectations. How much people are not gonna. But then again, this is YouTube comments. This is just
this is sort of
a dose of a dose of a dose.
This is why I'm like embarrassed sometimes by Star Trek fans. Star Trek fans are an embarrassment. They just
well, they have to show off how brainy they are, and it's like the minute they see a shootout, they're like, Star Trek, not Star Trek. It's like, come on, relax, guys.
Lisa says, speaking of Whoopi, I have something for you, Joe. Wow. I'm trying to figure out what
something
you could possibly have.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna write the one positive comment. I'm doing it.
Oh, let's do it. All right. This is gonna be great.
I think this looks good. I think this looks. I didn't see one. I didn't see a single one. That's crazy. Normally you could at least see one. All right. Sorry.
Do you want to play the find the woke game where we just scroll through the comments and find the first guy who says this looks woke?
Oh my god!
I actually didn't see any of that. Thank God.
It's I haven't seen it yet, but it's in there. Someone,
dude. Honestly, if you find a good comment, like a positive comment, let me know. This is crazy. I've never seen this.
Dude,
I'm an Acolyte fan.
you just passed something. Someone was calling it Bra Trek.
This is not Star Trek. Pretty much dead on the right. Like not one.
Oh, I found it.
You did?
There it is. Wait. Oh, I just saw it. I just saw a big shining cap, all caps woke in there when you scroll.
Oh, I thought a positive comment.
There it is. Zack Snyder. Wait. Oh no, you passed it again.
Oh, hope it's gonna be woke as fuck. Well, he hopes it's gonna be woke.
Well, no, there's another one where a guy had an all caps.
Look, 3 comments. So I hope.
So.
Star Trek not being a bit woke isn't Star Trek. I'll give that a like.
See, there you go. Yeah. So
this is hilarious. Wow. So this is another. Once again, Hollywood is like I'm the only target audience. Hollywood is making stuff for me and only me. Apparently. Thank you, Hollywood.
Welcome, Alex. Alex Acosta's art. San Diego local here. Didn't have a badge this year, but I did the offsite stuff. That's awesome.
Nice.
One of these days, I'd like to check out San Diego. All right. Well, I have 2 more things written down, and I'm curious anything you guys want to talk about too. But the next thing I have, a trailer dropped today. The latest Kevin Smith movie, the 4:30 movie, which is a movie Kevin Smith shot at the movie theater he owns, Smodcastle Cinema. I was there about a year ago with Adam the Woo. We didn't see a movie. We just were kind of like taking a tour of the place. But yeah, he shot a movie there. It's set in 1986. It's about a bunch of kids who are obsessed with movies. I'm of mixed feelings with this because I don't know if you guys watched the trailer. I watched the trailer. I didn't think anything in the trailer was funny. I didn't laugh once. However, the subject matter interests me. I'm like, wait a minute, a bunch of kids that are obsessed with movies in the 80s. That's my childhood right there. And it seems like a subject Kevin Smith should know well. It seems like something right up his alley. So I'm excited for this movie, but I did think the trailer failed to provide any big laughs.
I don't know about this project at all.
I've seen the trailer pop up in my my For You page, but I had no interest in it. First, I thought it was a fake trailer. I personally thought it was a fake trailer because I'm like, this just looks so low budget. The thumbnail did nothing for me. And then now that you say it's an actual trailer, I'll probably go and watch it right after the stream.
You know what? There is one thing that's kind of funny about it. They show clips of the movie they're watching, and it's a really schlocky, like cheeseball film.
It's gonna be the fun part.
Did you watch the trailer, Perp?
I did. I like the trailer. I think it. Well, first of all, it's Kevin Smith, so maybe the reason why it's not funny is like the dirtiest jokes aren't going to make it on the trailer. So it's
that's true.
The best jokes are probably being saved for the movie, the F words, all that stuff. Like, you know, I thought it was it was very heart. It felt like it was a cozy movie, just one of those. You know, I've seen like, I like when filmmakers do this, and I feel like there's like, I said this before, it's in the zeitgeist. All these filmmakers, like Quentin Tarantino, wanted to make a movie about The Critic. Called The Critic, about a guy watching movies too. It seems like there's something in this that those generational filmmakers going back. You know, I think Paul Thomas Anderson sort of did that with Licorice Pizza as well. Like
and the
something about
Fablemans.
going back in The Fableman. Yeah, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Spielberg and The Fableman. You're right. Yeah. There's something going on there, and I'm down for it. These filmmakers it seems like they want to tell these personal stories. and why they fell
So
in
is
love
the
with movies to
movie
begin with.
that they're going to see in this movie fake? Then
It seems like it's several movies.
They're going
Okay.
to see a movie about the trailer that the movie they show in the trailer is about a nun who's also a hooker.
oh, okay.
That's Kevin
No, but it
Smith.
looks like they're gonna be watching several movies, and you're gonna get like, I'm sure, schlocky versions of.
Yeah, they show like a clip from like a superhero style movie, and like
Okay.
It's almost like Be Kind Rewind, but except they're
Yeah.
not making the movies, but like you're gonna be seeing.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
I have to watch that. I've never seen that.
it's funny.
Yeah,
It's cute.
that's a solid flick. What is everybody's favorite non-View Askew Kevin Smith movie?
There's only like 2, right?
Because a lot of them are, well, no, there's. I mean, there's
Don't
Red
forget, he has a
State.
horror arc. He has a horror arc that he.
Yeah, Red State, Cop Out, the ones with Justin
Red
Long,
State.
right?
Red
which I
State
forget
is
what
a
they're called.
horror. Red State is a horror masterpiece. I love that movie. I thought the fact that it turns into an action movie. Kevin Smith, like he freaking leveled up when he did that movie. Like his visuals were way better. Everything about that movie I absolutely love. I think it's one of my favorite movies that came out that decade. I was absolutely stunned that came from Kevin Smith when I first saw it. I love Red State.
That is actually, I think, the only one I haven't seen, and I know everyone talks glowingly about it, so I'll have to catch that.
I need to rewatch it because I watched it when it first came out and I didn't dislike it. Like I wasn't like, this is garbage, but I just wasn't impressed by it. And then since I've heard people say this is really, really good.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to rewatch it and kind of reevaluate it.
Fantastic performance by Michael Parks, rest in peace. Like he finally got like a role that matched his talent, like because he's always played bit parts in the Tarantino movies, the Robert Rodriguez movies, and what he has this amazing monologue. And then I just love it. Michael Parks, before he died, he got like a great juicy part. I was so happy about that too. So that might be I might be a little biased about that. Why I love that movie so much.
I do love the fact that all these movies, starting with, I think Dogma was the first, but starting with Dogma, then Jersey Girl, then Red State, and I think she's in the 4:30 movie. Kevin Smith keeps giving roles to Betty Aberlin, who played Lady Aberlin on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I grew up.
He has like a family dynamic. It seems like when he does his filmmaking, I've heard him speak about it, and I've seen like making ofs. It's like he does, especially now more than ever that he's been sort of doing it himself. Since not having the backing of who.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and he also keeps putting his daughter in his movies, who I think is one of the worst actresses around. But
she's playing the hooker nun in the fake movie.
Of course she is. Of course she is.
Only
Kevin. Well, Kevin, you're 2 steps away from Dario Argento. What he did to his daughter in his movies, bro.
Yeah, only Kevin Smith would say to his daughter, "I got a role for you. You're gonna be a hooker."
Dario Argento has, for his daughter and his wife, they put them through some terrible stuff. Like it's awful.
Well,
the only thing I like her in is the non-Kevin Smith role she did. She was on a TV show on Freeform called Cruel Summer. That was the only thing I thought she actually did a good job.
My girlfriend loved that show. That's funny.
I mean, it was really well done. And she was good in it. I don't know why she can't act her way out of a paper bag in a Kevin Smith movie, but
because she doesn't have to.
Yeah,
that could be it.
That's part of the charm. Maybe that's part of the View Askew, just like reality. You ever I once thought of this. I once thought, what if I met someone and I felt like they were just a bad actor, like in reality? That'd be so weird. Like if like someone's talking to you, you just don't believe them. They look like they're acting bad. Like that. That'd be weird.
There's got to be people like that out there.
There's someone that you just think, is that a bad actor? I don't know what that.
For me, I've only seen a couple of Kevin Smith's movies, so I can't say anything. I've seen Zack and Miri, which I thought was fine.
It was good.
And then that one, Yoga Hosers.
Yes.
That one, I'm in the bottom of the Walmart bin minority of that one. I found charm in that one just because I
really good. You should email him and tell him, man. He'll love to hear that.
He'll love to hear it. Boy, that was
you could finally tell people I had an email that someone said they loved Yoga Hosers. You finally say that to the audience.
I actually have it over there, and I thought about selling it, But I'm like, you want to know what? One, who's going to want it? But two, I want to keep this because I want to have a movie that has the rise of an actual star who I think has a lot of talent in Lily Rose Depp. I think she has a lot of talent. She acted her way out of that awful script. But I had such fun seeing Johnny Depp in that stupid, awful makeup, trying to act his way through that. It's bad. It's an awful movie, but I found charm in it, man. And my favorite part is I got that from the Dollar Tree, so I didn't pay shit for it.
I also own it on Blu-ray and got it at Dollar Tree. And
Do you like it?
I haven't watched it yet.
Ooh.
I'm
Did
one
you
of
see
these days-
Tusk? Did you see anyone see Tusk? I love Tusk.
I need to watch Tusk. I
love Tusk.
heard people told me it was terrible, and I didn't watch
loved
it. And then I heard it was great. So
I loved it.
I don't know.
I thought it was
I'm
so
somewhere
weird.
in the middle on that, Joe. I think it's okay. I think I gave it maybe a C+ or something, but I appreciated what he was at least going for with it, and I love Justin Long.
Did you hear the making of why he got that movie made? Is because it was technically a meme. He was doing a podcast where he was just reading the weirdest like newspaper like ad of someone needing a roommate and they could live for free if they pretend to be a walrus. And it was him and another podcaster
Wow.
coming up with this scenario of like, and they literally just made up the Tusk movie right then and there. And then they asked the fans, all right, if you want to see this as a movie, hashtag walrus yes. And everyone said walrus yes on Twitter, and he made the movie because of it. It was literally just a meme.
Yeah, it was him and
That's
Scott
wild.
Mosier. Scott Mosier, his former
probably
producer, who, I was an extra in Chasing Amy, and I spent
Amazing.
most of
Classic.
the day sitting next to Scott Mosier and just chatting with him. Like that's where I ended up sitting, was right next to Scott Mosier. So I spent like a whole day just BSing with Scott Mosier. Heck of a great guy. And now he's a director for animated films for Illumination. He directed the Grinch film from 2018 with Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's a charming little movie.
That's
I love
incredible.
that movie. Yeah,
So that was the podcaster that Kevin Smith, he did the podcast with that guy.
yeah.
He's the director of The Grinch.
Hmm.
I know he produced all his movies and he showed up in Chasing Amy. He's the guy that challenged the Tracer or whatever. That's incredible. I didn't know he directed The Grinch. Wow.
I didn't know that either.
I was a little surprised. I watched the whole movie. Then at the end, it said directed by Scott Mosier, and I'm like, "Holy crap! Scott Mosier directed this."
Holy
yeah. So Dan, you and I saw Clerks together in January of '95.
Yeah,
I remember. Like I skipped school. I was in college, and I think you were still. Was you senior year, and I was.
I was senior in high school, but it was senior skip day.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean this is one of my like badge of like, hey, I'm into film. I saw it reviewed on Siskel and Ebert, and I guess maybe I saw the article in Entertainment Weekly about it, whatever. But these glowing reviews, I thought, well, this sounds really interesting. And I had never been to the art house in Philly, the Ritz.
The Ritz.
I think it was the Ritz. I think it was the Ritz 5 we went to.
Ritz 5, yeah.
And yeah, so our buddy Abe that had a pickup truck, 3 or 4 of us gathered in there. Nobody knew anything about this movie. I was like, let's go see this. It looks funny, whatever. And it became one of our favorite movies.
Now, I was coming at it from a little bit of a different angle because I was on college radio at the time because I was a year ahead of you. So you were in senior.
So the soundtrack.
I was. Yes, we were playing the soundtrack
a
lot on the radio station.
Great soundtrack.
And the Chewbacca song especially was very popular at our radio station. Chewbacca, what a Wookiee! So and it had little clips of dialogue between the songs, and we were like, "What the hell is this?
Yeah.
We gotta see this thing."
Yeah, that was pretty clever marketing on his part. Because 2 of the hottest bands at the time, Alice in Chains and Soul Asylum, that soundtrack was the only place you could get those songs.
Yeah.
So people bought the soundtrack without probably even knowing anything about the movie.
And one other funny little Kevin Smith punchline. A couple years later, well, I guess it was the next year, '95. Mallrats comes out, and in the Philly area, it was only playing in one movie theater. It only opened in one theater in the whole Philly area, and it was a movie theater I had never heard of that was about 45 minutes from my house. And we all had to take a commute to get to this far off movie theater to see Mallrats. Now, how many years has it been? It's like 30 years later.
Yeah.
And
29.
that movie theater is like 5 minutes from me right now. I live 5 minutes from
Oh, that's so funny.
Wow.
That's great.
First time I
saw
came to
that
this
with you,
neighborhood,
right?
I'm like, no, I went. I think you went the next night. I went like on a Friday night with Mike Jacopetti and Dave Perillo, and then the next night you guys went up. I think I was thinking about going a second time with you guys, but
Yeah.
for some reason I didn't. But,
Hey, rest in peace, Shannon Doherty.
yeah, absolutely.
One of her great film roles.
Mhm.
Yeah, one of her few film roles. It's like that and Heathers.
Yeah,
right?
other than Heathers and that, I can't really think of any.
I gotta before we move on, I gotta just chime in on this conversation going on in the chat here. Skullman is saying the '80s was a mid-decade for movies.
That's how Tarantino feels.
I cannot agree with that at
Nope.
all. We got Back to the Future, we got The Breakfast Club, we got E.T.
Princess Bride.
Yeah. God, it was like
Evil Dead.
The Goonies, Monster Squad. Yeah, Evil Dead, Evil
Karate
Dead
Kid.
2. Yep.
Indiana Jones.
Howard the Duck. I wanted to see your reaction.
You were
None of
waiting.
you-
You were waiting for that. one to
Congratulations,
just
gentlemen. None of you
percolate.
folded. Congratulations.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Howard
No.
the Duck.
Well, I mean, he's right about that one being mid, I guess.
Do you remember at the end of Howard the Duck when Leah Thompson sings the song on stage? Howard the Duck. When I met her, when I was getting my Back to the Future poster side, she ended up marrying the director of Pretty in Pink, Howard Deutsch. And I said to her, I go, do you ever sing the Howard the Duck song to your husband, but sing Howard the Deutsch? And she's like, no, but I'm going to start.
And that's when they got
Look, I think the 80s definitely gave birth to the maybe not birth, but certainly popularized the like really bad on purpose kind of comedy, like Weekend at Bernie's or Mannequin or other Andrew McCarthy movies, I'm sure. So there were definitely a lot of like hit movies that maybe were mid, but I think overall the 80s stands up with most decades.
My ex-wife once said she wanted to watch a So Bad It's Good movie and suggested Weekend at Bernie's. And this caused a major controversy between the two of us because I said Weekend at Bernie's. I said a comedy film, a film that is intended to be funny, can't be so bad it's good because the humor is intentional. And she disagreed with me. And this became like a major conflict whether a comedy film could be so bad it's good. I said it's not. No,
it's not possible. A bad comedy is a nightmare. A bad comedy is just like it's like what are those I don't want to call anything. I guess the disaster movies, like those. Remember those? Like it's like those are bad. Like you're not
bad
laughing,
comedy is just bad. It's not. So
it's just
bad
suffering. It's just suffering.
Yeah.
Now,
a bad horror movie, that's a comedy.
Good, yeah. With things like, say, the Velocipaster and stuff like that. Yeah, those are so bad they're just big art house masterpieces. Then, man, come on, I love them.
But those are designed to be tongue in cheek.
Yeah, there's like an irony thing going on.
Okay, maybe
there's
not originally, but then once you get into the
Shark Exorcist and stuff.
Slaughterhouse stuff like
Slaughterhouse was great though. I love that one.
Yeah, that thing
with the killer sloth.
And I loved it.
Before we move on, I wanted to. Man, I just blanked. What was I going to say?
Well, let me say this about the 80s. I think one of the things about the 80s is that's where it was the beginning of like blockbusters were kind of taking over. Because you remember in the 70s, like the movies that were making money and like getting nominated for like Best Pictures, those were the hits, like Alien. Maybe that wasn't getting nominated for Best Picture, but like these were like critical and commercial successes, where it's like the 80s you started to see that shift, where in the 90s it's like most blockbusters weren't getting good reviews or anything like that. Like that's where that shift started to happen. And every once in a while in the 80s they had a couple, like Back to the Future's Best Picture, of course, amazing movie, right? But for the most part that started to like disappear. Like, you know, Star Wars was nominated for Best Picture, Jaws, like the heavy hitters were also like cinema changers too, like versus like Red Dawn. I don't know. There was something there that where that shift started to change. And in the 90s, it was just like Independence Day, Twister, like who cares? Like everything's out there. The critics aren't going to like it, not going to get critical recognition. But audiences do. That's where it happens.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, I mean, when I look back at lists of like the 80s Best Picture nominees or winners, you know, a lot of them never get talked about, you know, because they were, you know, art house hits or whatever.
Yeah.
But right, you know, right. Back to the Future, E.T., sure, that makes sense. But something like, you know, The Goonies, which, or Ghostbusters, you know, huge hits, were not
Beverly Hills Cop
winning awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Look at this. Ron says that after Clerks came out, Jeff Halloran was still working as a mail delivery guy in his office building.
Oh, wow.
And Slappy says DC Cab. I do love DC Cab.
Joe does love some DC Cab.
Skullman says, "Am I reading anyone else's comments?" Yeah, no, we're reading comments. We're trying to mix it up. Skullman's disappointed that we didn't read the rest of his comment. He says the 90s movies were better: Pulp Fiction, Fight Club, Falling Down, American Beauty.
Yeah.
Those are all great movies.
The indie, but you could say the 80s birthed that 90s indie flair with like Jim Jarmusch, Spike Lee. Like that was like sort of the clearing of the throat for the 90s of like that we got with the huge independent movement that we got in the 90s. You have to give credit to the 80s starting that.
Yeah. I did have, I'm trying to look something up real quick. Who was the director of Borat 2? Borat's subsequent movie film.
Borat. That was a good one. I thought it was really funny.
Jason
Jason
Walliner. Jason Walliner was the director. Now, the reason I bring this up is because we mentioned Weekend at Bernie's. I'm in a Muppet Facebook group, and one of the people in the group is Jason Walliner, the director of Borat 2's brother. And he told us in the group, like when it came out, he said, "Hey, my brother's movie is opening this weekend. You got to check it out. It's on Amazon Prime." And he's a regular contributor to the group, this Jason Wallner's brother. So one day I was reading the cast of Weekend at Bernie's, and it said Bratty Kid, Jason Walliner. And I looked it up. I'm like, is this the same Jason Walliner? Sure enough. You remember there's a scene where dead Bernie falls off the porch and they're looking for him and a little kid's burying him. And they're like, "Hey, stop doing that. Stop doing that." And the kid shows them his butt and goes, "How'd you like to kiss this?" And points to his butt. That was the director of Borat 2.
Wow.
So when I found this out, I went to the Muppet group and I said, "Yo, you told us your brother directed Borat 2. You didn't tell us he was the How'd You Like to Kiss This kid from Weekend at Bernie's." And he's like, "Oh, I guess it slipped my mind." Lisa's also in the group with us.
That kid was bound to do that movie. From that joke to directing Borat.
Yeah. All right. Last thing I got. The news that broke the internet. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Dr. Doom in the Fantastic Four and Avengers Doomsday.
I'm so happy. Okay.
So you like this news?
I'm so happy, and let me tell you why. All right? I see people shitting on this, and I don't get it. I don't get it, because what we have here is a multiverse version of this, right? So they're going to do the same thing they did with Mr. Fantastic in Doctor Strange 2. We get a casting that we want, right? Everybody wanted that Tony Stark to come back. So what's going to happen is they're going to follow that comic line of Tony goes bad and becomes Victor Von Doom in another world. Later down the line, we are going to get the actual Doom in here. Like we got our actual Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four. We already got that. What I like about this is we knew that Tony was going to come back at some point. That was written in the sand. It was already written in stone in his contract. He's coming back at some point. I like this because it's not just, oh, hey, everybody, I'm back in, say, the very last fight in Secret Wars, and then he's a ruined cameo. We get to build this character up, see what his powers are. We get to know his character at the end of probably Fantastic Four. I think in a post-credit scene is where he's going to show up and do like the Thanos thing. I like that because with this, we get to see the character, see him build, and we build a better villain than Kang was. With Robert Downey Jr., if the story is bad, which with the screenwriter, it is not going to be. I mean, with all he's written for the MCU, he hasn't written a bad script. I think this works. I get why people are upset, yes. But for me, I think that with $30 billion, with the writer of Infinity War, Endgame, and I think all 3 of the Captain America movies, I think we need to trust these guys now because they are trying to build the MCU back up to what it was. And the way to do that is with a powerhouse actor to play your biggest villain in your biggest movies since Endgame. I think that's why this news hit me more, but also because I grew up with him as basically a ruined actor. With this, everybody thought Iron Man's gone. With Robert Downey Jr. winning the Oscar for Oppenheimer, everybody thought the chances of him coming back to the MCU is done. He's only going to be doing these award-worthy stuff, like the HBO show, that he is going to get plenty of love for. This works for me, and I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody else thinks, and I'm happy to be in the mid-range. Some people love it. Some people absolutely hate this news. What does everybody else think about this news?
Personally, I'm not a fan. I don't like it because we've had multiple attempts at bringing Dr. Doom to the screen, and they haven't gotten him right yet. Now, the same day we got this news, we found out that the Penguin is going to be a woman on the new animated series Batman Cape Crusader. And I heard some people complaining about that. And my argument was, we've had multiple Penguins and they've all been good. Going back to the 60s with Burgess Meredith, that was good for the time. Batman the Animated Series gave us a good Penguin. Danny DeVito was a good Penguin. We had the TV show Gotham. A lot of people liked the guy who played the Penguin on that show. And we got Colin Farrell getting his own show. And they said, we've had multiple versions of the Penguin. And mostly they've all gotten him right on some level. Nobody has gotten Dr. Doom right yet. And before we fiddle with Dr. Doom and start doing multiverse versions, I just want to see somebody get him right once. And we haven't had that yet. And my fear is if this is just Tony Stark from the multiverse, then you've actually kind of robbed us of Dr. Doom just to give us another Tony Stark, who's a different character. Can it work? Yeah, it could work. You know, with a good script, anything could work. But I'm still disappointed we're not going to get... Now, like you said, you think the real Dr. Doom is going to come later. If something like that happens, I'd be okay with it. I'd even be okay with it if this is a case of same actor, different character. Like if we find out this is not a variant of Tony Stark, this is just a guy who happens to look like Tony Stark by some weird chance, like how, go back to Kevin Smith, you watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, you'll see you'll see Jason Lee show up twice in that movie, first as Brody and later as Banky, and it's the same actor playing two completely different roles. If we got something like that where it's like we just I don't know. We're going to see how it turns out. Like you said, these are good writers, these are good directors. I'm sure they're not going to embarrass themselves. Like I'm sure this is going to be fine, but it does feel like we're running a risk that we're wasting one of the prime villains in the MCU.
What I think is going to happen here.
I gotta go, so I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in super quick because I think you guys both made really good points. I kind of agree with Noah that like the writers have a good track record, but also with the point that RDJ doesn't have to do this. So, and he certainly doesn't need the money. So I think they've got something good up their sleeves potentially, that will reveal itself.
Based.
But yeah, that's kind of where I am on it.
By the way, have you guys seen the teaser trailer for Fantastic Four?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
It wasn't officially released. A friend of ours sent it to me. It was like it's shaky cam footage that someone took in the room at All H. Dan, I got to send it to you. The movie looks amazing. It looks amazing.
All right.
Really
well, have a good night, gentlemen.
Thanks for joining us, Dan.
Thank you,
Always
Dan.
good to have you here.
Good night.
Fun
Yeah,
talk.
Night.
Yeah, I'm super excited. There's a certain thing that Robert Downey Jr. said that tells me they're already looking at this in a very awesome way, which is, what can I say? I like playing complicated characters.
Yeah.
And while some people could look at it as desperation, you could also look at it as appreciation of Robert Downey Jr. going out there after the MCU, not quite getting the hits that he rightly deserves. Even literally saying in his Oscar speech, I'd like to thank Nolan. I needed this way more than he needed me. Where it's like, it felt like, he's not doing so hot. And it's like, to go back and to do a villain as awesome as Doctor Doom, especially specifically for that Secret War story, it's like, we're not going to just see a bad Tony Stark. We're going to see a whole new character.
Mm-hmm.
This is a rejuvenate, like it's a Robert Downey Jr. with a new energy. I think he's coming at this with a new energy, a new appreciation for what MCU's doing. And I think at the same time, he's going to be allowed to play with this amazing character. Look what he did with what was a C-list character of Iron Man. I think he's in a way earned almost like as a thank you. Here's an A-list. Go have fun, man. Like, I think that's awesome. Whether or not, I don't even care if it's the real Doctor Doom or not. I'm just excited to see what he's going to do with the Doctor Doom character, especially even after Oppenheimer, like where he's already technically warming up to play a villainous role. Like, I don't know. I'm really excited about this.
Ron said Burgess Meredith had to create his Penguin from scratch. Nobody before him. He was really, I don't know what EBN stands for, but yeah, no. Martin Rodriguez wants to know why there's a dinosaur talking.
Hey, I've heard that right.
Are you telling me you have not heard the leak from the new Jurassic World movie? He's the writer here.
Yeah, I'm the writer.
He has the right
to
be a part of it, and he's the main dinosaur that's going to end up chasing all of ScarJo.
I've got my notebook right here.
We started opening doors in 1993. Okay.
Big movie purpose on my.
Hey, that's the goal, man. That's what I look at every time I work out.
Oh, that's his dad.
Skullman says that Joey G. Levitt was the hero. That's what his friends call him. I don't know if you know that. Joey G. Levitt. I imagine. It was the hero in 500 Days of Summer. Summer was the villain. I agree with that.
But Autumn saved him. That movie is one of the best movies ever released. It's a realistic look at a romance, and it gets no love.
I like that movie.
Hollywood loved it. They gave Mark Webb Spider-Man, and then they gave him Snow White.
It was the best movie Mark Webb ever made. So
Hollywood loved that movie.
Wait, is Mark Webb directing the new Snow White? The one with?
Yep.
Oh man, I was
Rachel.
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Serves you right, Big Woke Joe.
Yeah. No, hey, look, I love Rachel Zegler. She was fantastic in Shazam too. Just saying.
And I mean, is she wrong though?
No,
Is she wrong with what she said?
Nothing she said. To take it from Big Woke Joe, nothing she said was wrong.
This is also really random because I just remember this now. I saw the Lion King trailer, the new one, Mufasa, in 3D when I saw Deadpool. I don't know if you guys got to see it.
Yep.
Like when I saw the trailer on the computer, I wasn't like digging the effects, but in 3D, I was like, holy crap, this looks amazing. It looks totally different in 3D. Yeah. The Mufasa
my worry with it is it's going to be the same thing as the Lion King, where the visual effects are going to be amazing.
Sure.
But when I saw that 2019 live action remake in theaters, the first 5 minutes, The Circle of Life, I was bawling because it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It hit me. And then as soon as they spoke, I went, why are they not showing emotion?
I think Barry Jenkins got this.
I trust him a lot more than John Favreau.
And I think that was the general consensus. So I think they're looking at that specifically. I did see an improvement in the facial animation stuff. I'm actually really excited to see that movie now because of the 3D.
And Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote the songs, I have full faith in him. Full faith.
He did the new Little Mermaid ones?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I like those.
I gotta say this. Shiny.
That was Moana.
Moana. Yeah.
Yep.
That was not his best work. And Scuttlebutt, that got a lot of hate.
I like it.
It was a comedy song.
It's a little rap song. Whatever.
But for Awkwafina, what do you expect her to do?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. I think there's a law. I don't know if
I think everyone is.
I think there's a law that says that if you're making an animated movie, you're required to hire Awkwafina to do one of the voices.
Yep.
So, because she's in everything now. Before we move on, I just want to say I have a couple concerns about Doctor Doom in general. I don't like the idea that they had a plan, and the plan was the Kang dynasty. They were going to do Kang. And I don't like that they're backing away from that plan and scrapping it and coming up with something new. Generally speaking, whenever you have an outline and a plan and then just suddenly go crumble, it usually doesn't turn out well. Rise of Skywalker is a good example. We had 2/3 of a trilogy, and then suddenly we got this jarring, Palpatine's back, and nobody really liked Rise of Skywalker. I know JJ, you're a fan. I like it. I like it better than the prequels, but JJ Abrams, always says there was no plan. That's not true. The plan's right here. Duel of the Fates by Colin Trevorrow. This was the planned episode 9. It got tossed. I feel like this provided a more satisfying conclusion. Another one I always go back to is there was a famous comic book miniseries from the 90s called Armageddon 2001. And in the series, one of the superheroes, one of the DC heroes, a time traveler from the future came back and said, one of your heroes is going to become a villain named Monarch and take over the world in the year 01. And I've come back to stop it, and I have to figure out which of the heroes is going to go bad. And he spends like all summer traveling through the different comic books and touching people to see what their future is going to be. If he touches you, he can see 10 years into your future. And it was going to be revealed in the final issue, and the whole series was leading up to this, that it was Captain Atom. Captain Atom became Monarch. It leaked. People found out who Monarch was going to be. Everyone knew it was Captain Atom. DC panicked, and at the last minute, they changed it to Hawk from Hawk and Dove. The story didn't make sense. Hawk he's not as powerful of a character as Captain Atom. So you're like, really? Hawk is the guy who takes over the world. The story bombed out, and it was because they at the last minute pivoted from the plan. And my concern is, I know Jonathan Majors, they had to get rid of him. I get it. I really feel they should have taken the Don Cheadle approach. When they got rid of Terrence Howard, they brought in Don Cheadle, just recast the role, because I'm not saying it can't work. I'm not saying Doomsday can't work, but I don't like the idea that you were on a path, you had a plan, and you suddenly just scrapped everything and did a page one rewrite, because I don't think that usually works out.
What I think is why they did that is because for a lot of people, Kang was not working. You've already killed him in Ant-Man 3. And since he can be killed multiple times, I don't think they want that with their villains. But why I think that this will work a lot better is because we have Bob Iger back, who knows how to do a plan and knows how to do this, because he leaned into the first 25 films.
I'm going to throw something that just occurred to me out there. Do you remember several years ago at Comic-Con when they revealed that the next Captain America movie was going to be called Captain America: The Serpent Society?
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, oh, no, wait, that's not the title. Civil War. And everyone went crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think the plan was to pivot from Kang to Doctor Doom all along, and they were just trying to save the surprise?
No. I have to say this. I think this is a good way to go into it.
Dude,
but I think this was also
I gotta go off on Cheeseman when you're done. Sorry, Noah.
Yeah.
They never gave. Dude, he got Loki season 2. He got all of Loki season 2. He got he got more than a movie. He got more than 2 hours and 30 minutes. He got a whole season.
But
and
to be fair,
I turned it off because of him.
But you know what? I didn't care for Loki season 2 either.
His performance was absolutely excruciating to me.
But here's the thing. I agree with you. Perp, I agree with you. I agree with you. Like I didn't like Loki season 2 either. But I think we were in the minority because I kept hearing people praising Loki season 2. People kept going, MCU's back. This is it. This proves the...
No, because if it's true, then they wouldn't have said this anymore. No one brings it up anymore. We were right. No one brings it up anymore.
But here's the thing. Whenever anybody goes,
Reggie said he still hasn't recovered from the recasting of Darren Stevens on Bewitched.
What happens is every single great thing that the MCU does, Marvel's back. Anything that anybody doesn't like, it sucks. It's back, it sucks. It's back, it sucks. It's what's going to happen. But for like 15 plus years, we got a solid, I'm sorry, 10 to 11 years. It's consistently up. And every once in a while, we got a downturn with a Thor 2, an Iron Man 2. Every once in a while, a bit of a downslope with Marvel, with Kevin Feige having full control and not shoving all these shows in and all these other films in. I think they can form a plan a lot better with less characters. With the Thunderbolts, we're not going to get anything. I think we wait for Doom until the Fantastic Four film, until the very end, and then you build throughout that. So I think they have time.
You don't think we're going to get anything in Thunderbolts, considering they just announced Robert Downey Jr. this year?
Since it's
I think
wrapped,
they could even
no.
introduce.
I don't think he's going to make an appearance in that.
No, he's not. He's not. No, he's not.
I think that with Captain America and Thunderbolts, the big selling point is going to be Red Hulk.
Yeah.
Captain America, that trailer just doesn't do it for me at all. At all.
I love that one line. You no. What,
I feel like they're doing Civil War again in a way. It's like, can I call upon you? What if I don't agree with you? Fight.
Oh. you might be the Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love that line. And
then he says, "You're right. I'm not." Boom, hit him right back at him with that same energy.
I trust them, but I will be the one person. If it doesn't work if it feels forced, I will be the first person to go, I was wrong. I see where everybody was coming from. But I think with what they're going for, I don't think he'd come back if they didn't have a good story for him. I don't think he'd come back.
I do have a lot of faith.
He's totally going to take out Kang, by the way. That's how they up his XP in the movie. That's how you make him a bigger threat. Okay,
my one
you have Doom take
concern.
Kang out.
My one concern, and I said this on Max's stream yesterday, is I just hope we don't get a completely lame ending where it's a Tony variant and the characters have like a heart to heart with him. Like
he hugs Peter.
Like we knew a variant of you, and he was a hero, and he saved the world, and then like I just don't want to get like a lame ending where suddenly whatever the big conflict is at the end of Secret Wars, suddenly Dr. Doom flips and becomes the good guy and saves the day and goes, I am Iron Man. Like that would be the lamest.
They're not going to do that.
I hope you're right.
No.
I hope you're right.
You know they're going to add a joke right before that happens where he's about to turn in and Hulk punches him. Ha 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 ha.
Skullman, I've read several of your comments. You keep saying that. I've read several.
Skullman wants more attention, and you should give it to him.
What did I miss? Lou Bloom is the hero of Nightcrawler. His partner was the villain.
Cool.
I don't know what that means. I don't.
It means exactly that. Lou Bloom is the hero of Nightcrawler.
Is Nightcrawler a movie? Like
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen Nightcrawler. I saw Nightcrawler. I'm thinking
Steady
that's why he's not reading your comments.
Steady hands. It's Jake Gyllenhaal is a killer.
Okay.
No, he's is he a killer? No, Nightcrawler. He's a reporter. He's a reporter.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry.
He gets he's like one of those sleazy reporters that goes after like murders and stuff, and he just like the whole movie's about him being really unethical.
Oh yeah. That movie went out of my brain. Out of my brain. For this,
I thought he was talking about Nightcrawler, the X-Men. Like everyone's lost.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I was like, what?
There's only
everyone's lost here.
Two other stories that the MCU could do that could be a bigger threat than Doom in my eyes.
Galactus.
Yep, but also World War Hulk. It would take a long time to get to World War Hulk. You take everything away from him, and how you do that is you kill his son, you kill She-Hulk.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, she lives.
I can't.
She won't.
Condone the killing of
we need to get her together with Deadpool as soon as possible, please.
I agree. I would love to see that.
But that's how you get to World War Hulk, because he's more unstoppable than almost anybody besides Galactus. Those are the only two people that are a bigger threat than any version of Doom, any version of Victor Von Doom. But I don't think.
I don't. Victor Von Doom for me was never about being a threat, even though he is. To me, what I loved in Secret War was how he was just like, screw the villains and screw the heroes. I'm doing my own thing. They don't understand me. He's like, that is just so fascinating to me that he doesn't want to be in either side. And he kind of like, I don't know. I think that's what is going to make this tick for Robert Downey Jr. Because he complains a lot. He's very like egotistical.
Yeah, yes.
Like they're gonna like kind of modernize that, you know. I'm assuming, and just that within itself is like, okay, how's Robert Downey? Like, this might be like they're going for another award type of character, you know. Like, don't like he just got one. He just got one, and he's the next big thing is with MCU. They might be going for that. Like, it's a character worthy of that. If done correctly, especially with the way I've seen the translation so far, with the little Marvel knowledge I have, and the way it's translated or modernized for film, it's been like very clever and done pretty well for the most part. So I can imagine, like, you know, because Marvel is like, they're also like not just about making money, but like they're in the game in terms of getting nominations now. Like they're trying to make the best movie possible. They got Black Panther got nominated for Best Picture and a bunch of and is winning awards in terms of their technical aspects, from costumes to music. Like they're the big leagues. And I think Downey Jr. with his power and their resources, I think they're going to create something special. I really do, especially with Secret War.
Skullman wants me to read Lou Bloom is my spirit animal. Tyler Durden is my true mentor. Patrick Bateman is my role model. Ledger and Phoenix's Joker are who I want to be. I will ascend into Alex from A Clockwork Orange. #Sigma. My
Lord. If you were Sigma, you wouldn't have those. You wouldn't have those idols. Sigma don't have idols. Sigma go their own way. Sigma, they're their own idol. See, you lost. You're not a Sigma. Beta confirmed.
Videotapes. Who touched the watch?
Joe, please don't make comment
well, that's all I had. Does anybody else have anything to bring to the table? Any news that we need to discuss?
Yes. I have one that I would love to talk about. It's how Deadpool and Wolverine has now made the biggest splash in the past couple of years with the opening box office, $211 million being the 6th biggest grossing film opening weekend ever, beating out the first Jurassic World, and how it's going to be $1 billion film in probably 2 weeks. Guarantee you in 2 weeks, $1 billion film. With how big it's going to be, no competition this week or for the big foreseeable future. No competition at all. Not in the entire month of August.
Harold in the Purple Crayon would like to have a word with you.
I will say this.
It's because it's trying to scam him to buy a ticket. That's why I want to word with him. No one's going to see that movie.
I am.
I know, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, I'm
probably going to see it too because I defended it.
I'm going on Friday afternoon at 1:00 for it. That already has my money.
It's got my boy Zach in it, so
yeah.
Shazam. That's always going to be your Shazam, huh?
He's my Shazam.
Your Big Woke Joe's Shazam.
In fact, tomorrow they told us at work that tomorrow is Superhero Day. We all have to wear
Harold in the Purple Crayon sleeper.
I'm wearing my Shazam shirt tomorrow to work. So
we're gonna find out in 2 weeks. Harold in the Purple Crayon just passed Bad Boys 5 or whatever. It's like, what? It's going after Doom.
So here's a question though. Why do you guys think that Deadpool and Wolverine struck such a chord with the audience? Because if we look back at the first two Deadpool films, they were hits. They were hits, but they were not this big. If we look at the previous X-Men movies, the previous Logan, Wolverine, we look at those, they were hits.
Yes.
They weren't this big. So what was it about this one that got us to $1 billion territory that none of the X-Men or Deadpool movies prior?
Oh, Joe.
It is now that that Ryan is a bigger star than ever before, and it's him and Hugh together at their height of power. But it's also because, one, everybody knew. Everybody was talking about, is Taylor Swift going to be in this as Lady Deadpool, which no spoilers if she was or if she wasn't. But I will say this, you do not see the face of Lady Deadpool. You do not see the face. I think it was a Hugh Jackman coming in to the MCU and having one final big goodbye, but it's also the word of mouth. Once you get to the very end credits, that's where people are crying because you get to say goodbye to the Fox X-Men universe. All the Fox movies are gone now. And I think Hugh's gone.
Wait, you didn't get to say goodbye to anyone but Wolverine.
Oh, oh, no.
This is your goodbye, Halle Berry. Sorry, she's shocked she's watching this on screen on shocked. Like, wait, what do you mean? I wasn't even what? I'm done.
Basically, it's when they're running through everything. It's for someone like me, who I grew up with all those films, and it's basically that 20-year span has closed, and it's now that the Fox things don't matter anymore, and everybody who got to do a final big goodbye or have a debut, like one person in it, finally got to do everything they wanted to, and that they could get to make it make a lot of sense. I think that's why it's a whole ton of things is why I think that this is it, but it's mostly because Hugh and Ryan are together.
Yes.
That's it. 100%.
I agree with that big time in terms of the characters themselves. Like Hugh Jackman has been like Wolverine. There was a creative energy from the start in terms of like even the freaking theater PSA, whatever, where it's like Wolverine and Deadpool was freaking hilarious. So it's like you knew that they like just that chemistry and that energy was there and it was primed. And I wasn't even a big fan of the teaser at all. I did not like the teaser, but people were just hyped. The people were just hyped. And then I liked the trailer, and that's where you could see is for me, that's where I could say, okay, these guys, they got something. I think the movie's good. I'm not like in love with it. I think it's just a good, fun time. It did great with that. And I think the audience were dying to see, like, after knowing Wolverine for so long in these different scenarios, having to deal with Deadpool was just like something that everyone knew was going to be super entertaining. So I think you're right in that. It's just like, it was almost like a long time coming where it's like, you wanted to see the ultimate, like, smartass versus like the ultimate, like, you know, guy that's just fucking down and dirty and just really begrudged. It's just like, it's a formula that works. And this is a Marvel version of that. Of course it's going to be a hit.
By the way, where is Degrassi? Degrassi's not in the chat. I knew he was over at your stream, but he did not come over. Degrassi has been saying for some time, and to those who don't know, Degrassi knows things. We don't know exactly how he knows things. He has his sources, but he's a guy who's in the loop. And he's been saying for some time, Hugh's not done. He says we're going to see Hugh Jackman again. And if we didn't believe Degrassi prior to now, I think $1 billion gross at the box office cements it. We were told there wasn't going to be a Joker sequel, but $1 billion later, we're getting a Joker sequel.
I'm not saying he's done as the character. He's still going to come back in appearances, but he can't be a massive role anymore. He's getting to that age where he can't do everything to be a main guy anymore. With all the dieting, all the working out, he's in his 50s. And Ryan even said,
well, look at Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Like these actors are in a different level when it comes to like their health and routine and stuff like that. But one of the things Marvel is very smart with their storytelling, and they're very consistent. I saw the ending, like he joined the Deadpool family. Like, oh, sorry, this is gonna be spoilers, guys. Sorry if I already saw. Like the ending, if we look at the Deadpool and Wolverine ending of the movie, he's there, like he's part of the family. He's there with other reoccurring characters that we see before that we know Deadpool is close with. Like, I think that was telling us something that at the very least, we're going to see Deadpool and Wolverine together again, wherever they show up. Maybe literally they do a Guardians where they do a drop off somewhere, you know, like Guardians and Thor, where he gets dropped off somewhere or something. But like, the way Deadpool and Wolverine ended was he was part of that family. Like he's part of that Deadpool family. Like I think Marvel's very good with addressing that one way or another. But then again, it's Deadpool. He could literally make a joke in the next movie.
I was very late on that banner. I was trying to get that banner up there.
Sorry. Sorry.
Incredibly late on it.
Yeah, I see it that he joined the family, like, and he was happy. Like, that's the final thing. He was laughing, like, and after like what his arc was of losing everything, why would he like Marvel knows they care about this stuff. They care about these consistencies with character. I think we're going to see him again for sure.
We will see him again, but I don't think we have a Deadpool 4.
Yeah,
just because of
maybe not in Deadpool 4, sure. Yeah,
but I think we see them in Doomsday, in Secret Wars, and probably in maybe like a sneak peek of something. Maybe just quick cameos is what they'll say. Just show up here and there. But I think that with them, they're completely done with the.
Anthony just hit us with a She-Hulk reference. He joined the Deadpool cookout.
Crossover with Fast and Furious. They have a cookout at the end of all the movies now. Because they're family.
Yeah, we do know that there's going to be a Deadpool Thor team up. I'm thinking that Secret Wars, we're going to see that. So, Anthony Beltry says Deadpool 4 probably sometime in the future.
Oh, for sure. Just not in the near future. We're just hoping we see Deadpool somewhere else outside of Deadpool 4 is what we're saying.
Again, Ryan Reynolds said there will be no Deadpool 4, but $1 billion says otherwise. There's going to be a Deadpool 4.
We're going to see Deadpool somewhere else, other places before Deadpool 4. So we're going to be satisfied either way.
Yep.
Especially with Wolverine.
Well, that's all I got for tonight. We got anything else? Perp, you got anything?
I think RDJ's Doctor Doom is going to be in Fantastic Four. Galactus is going to destroy that world, forcing the big brainy Mr. Fantastic and Doom work together to get into the Marvel timeline or verse or whatever it is, bringing Fantastic Four into the Avengers Doomsday, right? I think that's going to make the Fantastic Four already losing their world, their loved ones, all this shit, and Doctor Doom with the same thing. I think it's going to up the drama. I think it's going to be great. I just want to reiterate how fantastic I think that RDJ is Doctor Doom. And they're going to they're not going to blow it, man. I'm telling you, they're not going to blow it.
And if we are wrong, we will be men and say we're 100% wrong. We were wrong, but we'll just have to wait and see.
I won't say I'm wrong. I will say Marvel's stupid for not doing what I said. No, I'm kidding.
Give him his royalties.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, that's it. It's almost the end of the show. So I want to thank you guys for being here. I want to play this clip that Perp disavowed yesterday. I found this. I found this and I uploaded it just to have a little bit of fun yesterday, but it does make me laugh. Let me give you the story behind this clip. I was watching an old movie and a character said some words. And when I heard those words, I thought, I got to take that and add something to it. So here you go.
Bill, you put something in my drink, didn't you?
Once again, with great pride and honor, disavow.
Seriously, though, you're watching an old black and white woman and a movie says, Bill, you put something in my drink. What's the first thing you're going to think of?
You're right. If she's holding a cigar, it's different. A different Bill. But yeah.
Oh, yes, that's a different Bill.
I'm speechless.
All right. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Noah's got a stream going tomorrow, right? The Deadpool spoiler stream.
I have 2 streams.
Okay.
I have my show. It's Noah Caser Live tomorrow night at 7 p.m. I'll be talking about all the movie news. I'll have my Deadpool non-spoiler review on there, as well as a couple brand new reviews. Not gonna spoil those, but also a lot of movie news, the box office, the top 10, and I'm starting a new segment, which I'm gonna call like rewind releases or something like that, where I go over everything new that came out that weekend over the past 10, 20, 30, and 40 years. And then at 8 p.m., 8:15, I'll be going over to my other stream on my channel, Deadpool and Wolverine spoiler discussion, and we're only going to go till 9:15.
All right. And Perp, you're live almost every night.
Oh yeah.
What kind of stream is that?
Perp. I go Tubi scrolling. Yeah. I scroll through the depths of Tubi, clicking on all subgenres you wouldn't dare to enter.
Cook my chicken 45.
There's nothing like a perp stream. Perp streams are pure. You never know where they're going to go.
Yeah, they're pretty wild. Sometimes people are yelling at each other out of love, sometimes hatred. It's all over the place.
So there's one person I know we will not find on a perp stream. I'm not gonna say it, but it's one guy who just doesn't have what it takes.
Doesn't have
Robert
the edge.
Downey Jr. No.
Doesn't have the edge.
Yeah, he doesn't have the edge. So
Oh yeah.
it's all
He
right.
doesn't have the sickness.
Tubi
No.
scrolling. Oh yeah.
No,
You're too woke, man. You're too woke for him. So
No joke. In Tubi, like I've been after this movie that's based off a video game called Dread Out. I've been after this movie on eBay since 2019. I've been trying to get this movie on eBay, on Yes Asia, different like sites. I can never find this movie, a copy of this movie. And then suddenly it just shows up on Tubi today. I'm just freaking out. I'm just like, I've been after this movie for years.
you never know what's going to show up.
And
on
it just showed up on Tubi.
Yeah.
What's the movie?
It's called Dread Out. It's based off
Dread Out.
Indonesian, might be Malaysian, video game called Dread Out, video game series that I like, and they made a movie out of it, and I've been wanting to see it. And it came out in 2019. I actually even like the directors, or the director for this one. I was really hyped, and I've been after it. I always search for it, and it just showed up on Tubi today, like nothing. It's crazy. Tubi's insane.
I'm gonna add that to my watch list.
Dread Out, yeah, it's on Tubi. Might be bad. I don't know. It's based off a game though.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to check out Noah's stream tomorrow. And I don't know, Perp doesn't like it when I put him his channel. He's like,
Yeah.
don't watch me. Don't watch me.
Yeah, don't watch me. It's gross over there.
Come
All
and join
right.
me because I got a lot of stuff coming up.
All right, everybody. We'll try this again next Monday. So keep wearing those pajamas, and movies are your best entertainment. I don't know if you knew that. That's what I heard.
And don't forget to stay woke.
Yeah.
Keep wearing those pajamas.
With the plastic feet,
Keep wearing those pajamas.
tell everyone you meet.
Keep wearing those pajamas.
With the back door flap,
Keep wearing those pajamas.
don't open it, it's a trap.
Oh no!
It's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas.
Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas.
I know we're having fun,
Keep wearing those pajamas.
and now the song is done.
Good night and good luck, everyone.